Have you ever wondered why you can know exactly what you need to do, yet still find yourself doing everything else? You want to become more disciplined, confident, focused, and successful. But somehow, your own mind keeps pulling you back. The strange part is, your brain isn't trying to ruin your life. It's trying to protect you from discomfort, uncertainty, and change. And that protection can quietly become your biggest limitation. In this video, we're going to uncover the hidden psychological patterns that keep you stuck, why comfort can become addictive, and how to train your brain to stop choosing the familiar over the future you actually want. Hashtag your brain wants you to stay. Weak point 1, your brain prefers familiar pain. Your brain has a powerful preference for familiarity. It doesn't automatically choose what is best. It often chooses what is predictable. Think about that. A familiar struggle can feel safer than an unfamiliar opportunity. That's why someone can complain about the same situation for years, but feel uncomfortable when a real opportunity to change finally appears. The brain knows the old environment. It knows the old routine. It knows the old identity. But the new version of your life, that's uncertain. And uncertainty creates mental resistance. This is one reason habits are so powerful. Every time you repeat something, your brain becomes more efficient at expecting it. Wake up. Check your phone. Avoid the difficult task. Feel guilty. Promise to do better tomorrow. Repeat. Eventually, the cycle feels normal. Not because it's good, because it's familiar. And familiarity can become a psychological cage. The uncomfortable truth is that sometimes your brain will defend your current identity, even when your current identity is exactly what you want to change. If you've always thought of yourself as lazy, trying to become disciplined creates tension. If you've always thought of yourself as shy, becoming more confident feels unnatural. If you've always avoided difficult things, suddenly choosing discomfort can feel almost wrong. Your brain says, "This isn't you." But that sentence is incredibly important, because who you are today is not necessarily who you have to remain. Your brain is predicting the future based on the past, and if you keep following those predictions, your past becomes your future. Point 2. Your brain uses short-term comfort against long-term growth. Here's another reason people stay stuck. Your brain is extremely sensitive to immediate rewards. The difficult task gives you stress now. The phone gives you entertainment now. Studying gives you effort now. Scrolling gives you stimulation now. Working toward a distant goal gives you almost nothing immediately. So your brain starts making a simple calculation. Why experience discomfort now for a reward I can't even see yet? This is why procrastination feels so convincing. Your brain isn't saying, destroy your future. It's saying, let's feel better right now. And that difference matters, because procrastination rarely feels like a bad decision in the moment. It feels like relief. You avoid the assignment. Relief. You skip the workout. Relief. You postpone the uncomfortable conversation. Relief. You delay the important project. Relief. But relief is not always progress. Sometimes relief is simply the removal of temporary discomfort. And if you repeatedly choose relief over growth, your brain learns something dangerous. Whenever something feels difficult, escape. Now, difficulty itself becomes a trigger. You don't need someone to stop you. Your own nervous system starts doing it. The solution isn't to suddenly become fearless. It's to teach your brain that discomfort is not an emergency. Start smaller than your emotions want you to. Instead of saying, I'm going to completely change my life, say, I'm going to work on this for 10 minutes. 10 minutes feels manageable. And when you repeatedly prove that you can survive discomfort, your brain starts updating its prediction. The task becomes less threatening. And eventually, what once felt impossible starts feeling normal. Point 3. Your brain protects your identity. This is where things get even more interesting. Your brain doesn't just protect your habits, it protects your identity. If you repeatedly tell yourself, "I'm not confident," "I'm terrible with money," "I never finish anything," "I'm just not disciplined," your brain starts treating those statements like instructions. Then you behave in ways that confirm them, not because you consciously want to fail, because humans naturally look for consistency between their identity and their behavior. This creates a loop. You believe you are a certain type of person, so you behave accordingly. Then your behavior becomes evidence supporting your belief. Then the belief becomes stronger, and the cycle continues. That's why changing your identity can be more powerful than simply setting goals. Instead of saying, "I want to become disciplined," start thinking, "I'm becoming someone who keeps promises to myself." That sounds small, but psychologically, it changes the question. You're no longer asking, "Do I feel motivated today?" You're asking, "What would the person I'm becoming do right now?" That question is powerful because motivation changes. Identity can guide behavior even when motivation disappears. And you don't build a new identity by thinking about it. You build it through evidence. Every time you do what you said you would do, you give your brain evidence. Every time you finish something you wanted to avoid, evidence. Every time you choose patience instead of impulse, evidence. Every time you speak up instead of staying silent out of fear, evidence. Small actions become proof, and proof changes identity. Point 4. Your brain will create excuses that sound logical. One of the most dangerous things about self-sabotage is that it rarely sounds irrational. It sounds intelligent. "I'll start when I have more time." "I need to learn more first." "I'm waiting for the right opportunity." "I'm just not in the mood today." "I'll do it when things calm down." Sometimes those statements are true, but sometimes they are sophisticated forms of avoidance. Your brain is incredibly creative when it wants to protect you from discomfort. And the better you are at reasoning, the easier it can become to create convincing explanations. You can turn fear into logic. You can turn avoidance into preparation. You can turn procrastination into planning. And you can spend months preparing to do something you could have started yesterday. So whenever you hear an excuse, don't immediately ask, "Is this true?" Ask, "Is this helping me move forward?" That question changes everything. Because a thought doesn't have to be false to be unhelpful. Maybe you really are tired. Maybe you really do need more information. Maybe the timing isn't perfect. But if you keep using the same explanation every time action becomes uncomfortable, it may not be a reason anymore. It may be a pattern. Point 5. Your brain can learn strength, the same way it learned weakness. Here's the part I want you to remember. Your brain is not permanently against you. The same brain that learned avoidance can learn courage. The same brain that learned procrastination can learn action. The same brain that learned self-doubt can learn confidence. Your brain changes through repetition. That means every small decision matters. Not because one decision will transform your life overnight, but because repeated decisions become patterns, and patterns become automatic. So stop waiting to feel like a stronger person before you act like one. Act first. Let your brain catch up. When something important feels uncomfortable, pause. Notice the resistance. Don't immediately obey it. Say, This feels uncomfortable, but uncomfortable doesn't mean wrong. Then take the smallest useful action. Open the document, make the call, study for 10 minutes, clean the first part of the room. Take the first step. You don't need to win the entire battle today. You just need to stop automatically surrendering to the first uncomfortable feeling. Because every time you act despite resistance, you teach your brain something new. I can handle this. And that sentence can slowly change your entire life. It's time to teach it something new. Your brain may pull you toward comfort, but you get to decide where your life goes. You don't need to become fearless overnight. You just need to stop letting every uncomfortable thought control your next move. Every small action you take against resistance is proof that you're capable of more. So when your mind says, stay where you are, pause and ask yourself, what could happen if I moved forward anyway? Because your future isn't built by what feels easy today. It's built by the choices you make when easy is no longer enough. Start small, stay consistent, become stronger,